Well, we're back here after a 12-hour rain delay at Hanover Insurance Park as the Shrewsbury, Massachusetts Post 397 takes the field in the bottom of the second. A little recap here. This is the fourth game that was supposed to be played on the first day of the tournament for the Northeast Regional Tournament here at Hanover Insurance Park. This game will be played before the next 4 games of today will be played. This game will finish off being Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, who now has a 6-1 lead over the River Dogs from Maine, who were the Maine champs. Yesterday, the River Dogs took a 1-0 lead early in the first inning in the bottom of the first, but Shrewsbury put up 6 runs in the top of the second with 5 hits in that inning, with a big sac fly from Matt Livingston, where 2 guys tagged up. And for the River Dogs, their 1 run came from a walk, a base hit, a double play, and then a base hit and an error. So we're about to get away here. Stepping up for the Maine River Dogs will be number 10, Jackson Thayer. He steps in right now. Carson Haubin on the mound for Shrewsbury. That pitch is hit right away up to center field. That'll be TJ Morgera calling off the middle infielders, and that's an easy out for the first one today in the bottom of the second. As I said, the score is 6-1, Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, over the Hampden River Dogs of Maine. Number 14, Adam Rush, the catcher, he'll step up. Wiggles that bat, and the pitch from Haubin, low and outside, counts 1-1. Beautiful day here at Hanover Insurance Park, Fitton Field at the College of Holy Cross. As you can see, sun is out. If you're a ball player today, you need those sunglasses, unlike yesterday. And the pitch from Haubin, fouled down the right field line. First baseman might have room, and it just goes off the fence, but out of play. The right fielder reach and grab it and toss that one to the umpire. So a really interesting day yesterday. We saw 3 of our games be played out as Rhode Island and Vermont both advanced to the winner's side of the bracket, and the 2 Connecticut teams fall to the loser's bracket. That ball's hit to the second baseman. Chris Wright on the play. He tosses it over to Matt Livingston, and that'll be the second out of the inning.
Now behind the second baseman, number 1, Nate Allen.
So Thayer and Rush retired early as Haubin finds that groove from yesterday, and Nate Allane, check that, will step in. Haubin's pitch, right down the middle, that'll be strike 1. Pitch inside, that'll even the count 1-1. And the pitch from Haubin is hit out into right center field. That'll be a shallow one, but called on by the right fielder, Mike Bonolo, and that'll be the third out of the inning. So Shrewsbury picks up right where they left off, gets 1, 2, 3 there for Haubin, and the score remains 6-1 as we head into the top of the inning as the Shrewsbury, Massachusetts host team tries to add on to their 6-1 lead. We'll be back after these important messages here at Hanover Insurance Park.
Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. Sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
America, meet Greg Anderson, served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. Sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
I never realized how much
And we're back. So the 7, 8, 9 batters will come up for Shrewsbury in the top of the third. Score is 6-1. And Spiegel, the pitcher who came in yesterday, this ball is thrown outside, 1-0. Christian Siciliano will step in. He's 1 for 1 from yesterday with a single and a run scored. That second pitch from Spiegel, high and outside, it'll be 2-0. The windup from Spiegel. High and inside again, 3-0. He falls behind. It'll be tough to throw 3 strikes here. You do not want to walk the leadoff batter. Spiegel's pitch high, 4 balls for a walk. Christian Siciliano is on for the leadoff batter.
The third baseman, number 16.
That automatic, well, not automatically unless there's a double play, but we should see the top of the order here for Shrewsbury as the 7 batter walks. It'll be Tyler Hopping at the plate now. He's the third baseman. Ball inside. Ooh. Looked a little inside, but the umpire called it a strike. It's 0-1. Curveball outside for a ball. Evens the count 1-1. And a beautiful day here. This kid's up, Mike Tonoli. Okay, so check that. They changed their third baseman. It's Mike Tonoli. And Spiegel tries to pick off. Tonoli's number 16. He'll be playing third base today. Spiegel, though, making sure Siciliano not getting enough to steal. And the pitch from Spiegel is curveball in the dirt. Great block there by the catcher, Adam Rush. And the pitch from Spiegel, it's flied out to right field. That'll be Jackson Thayer. He camps under it for the first out of the top of the third.
Now batting the shortstop, number 10, Ryan Conant.
Ryan Conant will step up to the plate. He sack flied with an RBI. His first time up yesterday. Spiegel checks the runner again. This Maine team does not want to give up any more runs here, and they want to get into a groove real quick. That pitch will be on the outside corner for a strike. 0-1 here. Conant. Curveball in the dirt. It's blocked. Oh, now they have him in a rundown. Catcher will charge and throw to second, but it'll be late. Siciliano will slide in. Rush hesitated. He had him halfway. Started running out to second base. Finally decides to throw it over, but not in time. That'll advance the runner. Now Shrewsbury with a runner in scoring position. Conant at the plate now. Pitch from Spiegel. Outside. Ball 2. So we have a 6-1 ball game here. Shrewsbury taking the lead in the top of the second, looking to add on here as the Maine River Dogs try to hold them off, the host team. That was a curveball in the dirt, swung on and missed. That'll even the count 2-2. The ambiance here is just unbelievable. You look out in left field, if you're looking on our GoPro camera, at traffic going by now. And definitely a great place to play if you're a high school or American Legion baseball player. All these guys have accomplished a lot this summer, and that pitch was low and outside. It'll be full count now. That ball's low and outside again. Ball 4. That'll be a walk for Conant.
Now batting the left fielder, number 11, Sean Bunting.
That pitch is high and outside from Spiegel. It'll be 1-0 to the leadoff batter, Sean Bunting. Now we have first and second, 1 out here. Shrewsbury looking to add on to their 6-1 lead. That pitch was a strike. It'll even the count 1-1. It looked like the Maine River Dogs were going to give this Shrewsbury team a little game here. That swung on and missed for strike 2. But Shrewsbury fighting right back and putting up 6 big ones in the top of the second. Now Maine's going to have to chip away at it as this game restarts the next day after a 12-hour rain delay. That one's dribbled to the first baseman. Nobody covering the bag. He tries to avoid the tag, and he does. He slides in head first, tags it with his left hand, and he's safe. So Shrewsbury now has the bases loaded as runners advance to second and third.
The center fielder, number 3, TJ.
And that'll be a hit for Sean Bunting. He's 3 for 3 on the, well, 1 for 1 today, but 3 for 3 in this game. That pitch is outside. Call on the outside corner for a strike. TJ Morguera, he'll walk up to the plate. He's 0 for 1 on the day with a sack, or he's 1 for 2, check that, with a sack bunt and a single with a run scored. And Spiegel getting ahead early here, 0-2 on the batter, TJ Morguera. The bases loaded, 1 out. That's fouled off back into the net behind home plate. Morguera just fighting away. Trying to put the ball in play and put the pressure on the defense here as Shrewsbury looks to score and add on to their lead here. That's fouled off down the right field line. That'll be out of play. The windup from Spiegel. That's hit the left field. It's a liner. It's right to Derek Gendro. He'll throw it in, and no runs will advance there on that line drive to the left fielder.
Now batting the first baseman number 44, Matt Livingston.
Matt Livingston will step in now. He's 0 for 2 with 2 RBIs. A strikeout and a sac fly with 2 RBIs. He rips that at the second baseman. The second baseman dives and misses it. The right fielder will come up with it. Throws in and it's cut off. That'll score 2 runs now. So a single
Now batting the DH number 24, John West.
for Matt Livingston. We'll get 2 RBIs for Shrewsbury as they had 2 more runs in the top of the third. So now the score 8-1. And John West pops it up to deep left center field. The center fielder, Sean Economy, will come on and catch that one, but not before the Shrewsbury, Massachusetts host team adds 2 more runs on Matt Livingston's RBI single, double RBI, 2 RBI single. Check that. And we'll head into the bottom of the third inning as the score is 8-1. Shrewsbury, Massachusetts over Maine.
Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. Sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
America, meet Greg Anderson. Served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans. Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom. Please support the American Legion's efforts to serve the growing number of women veterans. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help. America, meet Greg Anderson, served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help. America.
And we're back here, and a little technical difficulties with the sound here as the Maine River Dogs go down 1-2-3 with an F9, a ground out to the third baseman and a fly out to the center fielder. Shrewsbury, Massachusetts now leads Maine 8-1 in the top of the 4th inning, as Shrewsbury still tries to continue this hot streak that they've had in the last 2 innings, scoring 6 in the second and 2 in the third. That first pitch from Spiegel will be high and inside to Mike Bonolo, the right fielder. And that one falls in there for Spiegel. It'll be 1-1. Pitch from Spiegel, curveball popped up to the right fielder. He'll call off the second baseman. That'll be Jackson Thayer, camped under it for the easy out. As his hat falls off, there'll be 1 out here in the top of the 4th as Spiegel retires the first batter from Shrewsbury. Chris Wright, the second baseman, will step up. He's 0 for 2 on the day with a line out to left field and a sack bunt, which started that big rally in the second inning. He advanced on an error by the third baseman. And after that, Shrewsbury has just continued to pile on runs. And he'll line it out to the center fielder. It'll be Sam Economy, and he camps under it for the easy out. 2 quick ones here for Spiegel as Maine looks to try to get back in that dugout and try to produce some runs to chip away at this lead. But Hampden just finding that rhythm, and Christian Siciliano will step in, and he hits that right away. He beats the left fielder. It's over his head all the way to the fence. He'll round first and stand up at second, and that'll be a double with 2 outs for Christian Siciliano. He's 2 for 2 on the day with a walk and a run scored.
Now batting the third baseman, number 16, Mike Tonelli.
Now Mike Tonelli will step in. He's playing third base today for Shrewsbury. That pitch from Spiegel is low and outside, ball 1. So 8-1 game here at Hanover Insurance Park, which is continuing over from yesterday's rain delay. The American flag waving out in right field as that one's fouled off. A little 10-mile-an-hour, 11-mile-an-hour wind. It's 70 degrees here. Beautiful sunny day. Great day for baseball. People still filing in here early at Fitton Field at the College of Holy Cross. That curveball's low and outside. It'll be 1-1 now to Mike Tonelli. Mike Tonelli. Looks like the shortstop trying to put on a little play here, but they don't. Curveball in the dirt is blocked by Adam Rush. Now it's 3-1. Spiegel falling behind, looking to get that last out in the top of the 4th here. Put up the first 0 since the first inning against this Shrewsbury team. And that's hit to the shortstop. That'll be Gavin Patridge on to first to Nick Lorenzo, and that'll be the third out of the inning. So no runs, one hit, no errors. And Shrewsbury, Massachusetts will come out onto the field for the bottom of the fourth inning, trying to hold off the Maine River Dogs. We'll be back after these important American Legion messages.
Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. Sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
America, meet Greg Anderson. Served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice.
So we're back here, and Keith Pomeroy will step in to face Hamm, foul down the left field line for the first strike, the at-bat. So looking forward into this tournament, we said that Rhode Island today, or yesterday, was the winner. They'll be facing Lawrence, Mass, in the 7th game, which will be played later on today. The 5th game, which will be right after this, will be Stanford and Nashua, New Hampshire, so Stamford, Connecticut, and that one's hit to the shortstop, Ryan Conant, and that'll be tossed over for an easy 6-3 as Shrewsbury gets that first out. So after this game, we'll have Stanford and Nashua. Following that game will be Game 6, which Southington is waiting to play the loser of this game, so whichever team comes out to lose this, which we don't want to assume things, but could possibly be this Maine River Dog team. So they might have to play in another game today. Well, obviously one of these, both these teams have to play again today, but they'll have to play in the second game after this. So they'll skip one game and have to play again, and then the winner of this game will play Vermont in the 8th game of today. That one's fouled off down the left field line. And Gavin Patridge steps in. He's 0-2. He's 0-2. Fouled off. He's fighting away. The pitch from Hamm, curveball outside. The pitch from Hamm. Curveball in the dirt. I'll even it out 2-2 now. These Maine River Dogs looking to get something started. You can't do it without base runners, so any way is possible. That ball's hit over the second baseman's head into the right center gap, and it'll be cut off by center fielder T.J. Morgera. Tossed in. So that's a base hit there, as Patridge is the first runner here since the first inning for the Maine River Dogs. Their first base runner today. Jacob Lorenzo will step in. Pitch from Hamm's inside for a ball, 1-0. Hamm picks off, tosses it over to Livingston. Nothing going there, though. That ball's ripped to left field. That might drop in, and it does. Sean Bunton tries to shield it. It gets a little bit by him, but not enough for the runner to advance. It'll be first and second now as two singles by these Maine River Dogs. And the Shrewsbury coach will go out to the mound and have a little conference as he takes the ball from Hamm. It wasn't even Hamm on the mound. Sorry about that. Didn't even know. That was McSweeney. Thought that Hamm was the pitcher from yesterday, but his book was closed yesterday. That was McSweeney that pitched the last couple innings. And we're going to go to break, and we'll let you know what happens after this.
Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. Sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
America, meet Greg Anderson, served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that sacrifice is more than many of.
And we're back here, and that was McSweeney. Sorry, we were calling it as Hamm, who was a pitcher from yesterday, but McSweeney came in, and now it'll be Cam Troio, number 14. He's on the mound for Shrewsbury now, as he'll try to close this one out in the bottom of the fourth. The score is 8-1. Swung on and missed. Counts 1-1. To number 10, Jackson Thayer. He's 0 for 1 on the day. He flew out to center field his first time. Swung on and missed. 1-2. So base runners on first and second as Maine hits 2 singles in a row. Open stance here from Thayer. Ball outside. 2-2. As I overheard in the press box, Cam grounded ball to the shortstop, tossed over to the second baseman. There'll be no double play there as it's broken up. So that'll be a fielder's choice 6-4 as Cam Troio, hope I'm saying that right. Sorry if I'm butchering his name.
Your attention, please.
gets the first out, well, second out here, his first out of the game, with a ground ball to the shortstop. So now Maine will have first and third, 2 outs, as Adam Rush, the catcher, who's 0 for 1 on the day, he grounded out to the second baseman, comes up. That's foul tipped into the catcher's mitt. 0-1. And that curveball breaks right over the plate. It'll be 0-2. We're going to check that. There's a pinch hitter up right now, Kobe Moore for Maine, number 15. And that'll be a stolen base there for Jackson Thayer as he advances to second. It'll be second and third, 2 outs. Curveball blocked in the dirt. Great job there by the catcher, Christian Siciliano. The wind-up and pitch. On the outside corner, the pitcher thought it was good. He started to run off the field, but that ball will be called outside. 3-2 now, full count. So it's full count, 2 outs. Man on second and third. Bottom of the fourth, 8-1 ball game. That ball's fouled back into the net as the pinch hitter, Kobe Moore, not giving up without a fight. Maine trying to add on and chip away at this 8-1 deficit. That pitch is outside as that walk loads the bases. Now the 9 batter, Nate Allane, will step in. He's 0 for 1 with a fly out to center field. That pitch high, ball 1. So the bases loaded are here. Maine knocking at the door. Their first time since the first inning where they scored 1 run on a base hit and an error. Shrewsbury trying to get out of this as they lead 8-1 in the bottom of the fourth. The pitch hit to the second baseman. It should be a routine play. He flips it over to the shortstop at second base. And Shrewsbury, just like that, out of that inning, as it looked like Maine was going to add on with 2 singles and a walk. We are heading into the top of the 5th now here at Hanover Insurance Park. The River Dogs coming out on the field. Shrewsbury leads 8-1. We're here with Sporting News CT, and we'll be back after these important messages.
Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. Sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
America, meet Greg Anderson, served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice.
And we're back.
Now batting the shortstop, number 10.
As Shrewsbury comes up in the top of the fifth, it'll be the 8-9-1 batter, Mike Tonoli. He'll step in, third baseman for today. He's 0 for 1 with a fly out to right field. That first pitch outside for a ball, 1-0. So it's 8-1 here. Shrewsbury leads. Spiegel on the mound. He pitches it low and outside. Looked like a 1-0 curveball. It's now 2-0. Great hitters count. Trying to hit this somewhere here for Mike Tonoli. Being aggressive, he dribbles it back to the pitcher. He'll toss it over to Nick Lorenzo, and that'll be the first out as Spiegel retires the first batter in the top of the fifth. 1 out.
Now batting the left fielder, number 11, Sean Bunting.
Sorry, check that. That wasn't Tonoli. That was Ryan Conant. And now of the top of the order, Sean Bunton. He'll come up. He's 3 for 3. Top of the order now. So it was 9-1-2. Spiegel will see in this inning. That ball's outside. So it's 1-1. Pitch low and outside. 2-1. Fouled off over the press box. Bunting staying alive here. Bunton. He's 3 for 3 with a run scored in the second inning. He rips that through the gap. The second baseman will dive and get it. He'll try to throw to the first baseman, and he does get him. Great job covering first base by Spiegel there with the ball to the right side. Got past the first baseman, but that's Nate Allane able to make the play. That'd be a 4-1. So Spiegel able to retire the first two Shrewsbury batters. Looking to post up another 0 here. As TJ Morguera, the center fielder, comes up. He's 1 for 3 on the day with a single, a sac bunt, and a line out to left field. That first pitch low and outside be ball 1. Catcher blocks it in the dirt at 2-0 now. And that'll be Kobe Moore now behind the plate as he pinched hit for Adam Rush. Pitch from Spiegel, low and inside, 3-0 now. As Spiegel gets those first 2 quick outs and now falls behind the TJ Morguera. Spiegel's pitch right over the plate for that automatic strike. It'll be 3-1 now. Our mentor Don Boyle thinks they should just start it off 3-1 after that 3-0 pitch, and that ball will be low and outside, a curveball in the dirt. TJ Morguera will work the walk in the top of the 5th. Spiegel puts on a runner now with 2 outs as the big first baseman Matt Livingston comes up. He's 1 for 3 today with a strikeout, a sac fly, and 4 RBIs. And the runner goes. Morguera running. He dives in. Ball deflected out into the outfield grass, but he won't go anywhere. So now Livingston will have a runner in scoring position. So Livingston looking to try to get his 5th RBI today as the speedy Morguera takes second base. You got to think a single here might score the runner from second as outfielders playing pretty deep here for Livingston. The pitch from Spiegel in the dirt block. Now Morguera gets a good jump on it, and he gets over. It's not even going to be close as he slides in and then deflected away as the ball does not get to the third baseman, Keith Pomeroy. Now a runner on third, so Morguera steals second. Reads a ball in the dirt for another stolen base. It might be a pass ball. And Livingston rips that out in the right center gap. That'll beat the center fielder. That'll be going all the way to the fence. As San Economy tries to throw it in, Livingston will make his way all the way to third. The throw from the shortstop or the second baseman, not good enough. So Nate Alleyne cuts that off and tries to throw him out at third, but not in time. So Matt Livingston with another single, RBI, or a triple. Check that, sorry. A triple, an RBI. So a sac fly, 2 RBIs on that one. An RBI, or 2 RBI single, and now an RBI triple for Livingston. He's having his day. John West, the DH, he'll step in now, number 24. He's 1 for 3 on the day with a fly out to right, a single, and a fly to center. And he rips that, and the third baseman will get it. Keith Pomeroy with that line drive right at him. What a play there. And Shrewsbury will add on 1 run in the top of the 5th as they make it a 9-1 ball game against these Maine River Dogs. And we'll be back in the bottom of the 5th.
Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. Sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
America, meet Greg Anderson. Served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/.
And we're back here. Sam Economy now steps in, number 4, the center fielder for the Maine River Dogs. First pitch to him was a strike. He swings again. It's 0-2 now. As the new pitcher, Cameron Tororio is on the hill. That ball get past the catcher. Now it'll be 2-2 here. So the score 9-1. Shrewsbury leads in the bottom of the 5th. That pitch high and outside to Economy. It'll be 2-2. Or full count. Check that. Economy 0 for 1 on the day with a walk, and the only run scored here for Maine. As he walks again like he did in the first inning. So the first guy's on with a leadoff walk here for Maine in the bottom of the 5th as they chase a 9-1 lead by the host team, Shrewsbury, Massachusetts. Number 18, Derek Gendro will step in. He's the left fielder. The open stance, the pitch high and inside, and the catcher, Christian Siciliano, will talk with the pitcher here, Tororio. Tororio looking over at first, probably the catcher, and them talking about the speed of the center fielder here from Maine. That one's popped over our press box. That'll even the count 1-1. A lot more ways to score if this runner gets to second base. As Shrewsbury tries to keep their lead, they've done pretty well of holding this Maine team off in the second, third, and fourth inning, as their only run came in that bottom of the first. Now it's 2-1 to Gendro. That ball's hit out to center field. TJ Morgera will camp under it, and that'll be an easy fly out to center field. As they toss the ball in, and Economy has to go back to first base. You cannot move base runners with pop-ups or strikeouts. So if this Maine team wants to get back in this game, they're going to have to hit the ball hard and down on the ground. Nick Lorenzo will step in now. He's the first baseman. He check swings, and he does offer for it, so it'll be strike one. The pitch fouled off. Lorenzo falls behind 0-2 here. Troio. The pitch. Called on the outside corner for strike three. As Lorenzo goes down looking.
Now batting the third baseman, number 3, Keith Pomeroy.
So Maine gets their leadoff guy on, but now strands him with, not strands him yet, but 2 guys down, 2 outs, man on first. As the 4 batter, Keith Pomeroy, steps in. With a pitch, outside, ball. It's now 2-0 as Troio falls behind. And that one will be in there for a strike, 2-1. So there's 2 outs, man on first. Pomeroy at the plate. Shrewsbury leads 9-1 as they try to, and the runner goes. Looks like it was a hit and run or a run and hit, as Economy has to go back as it's fouled off by Pomeroy. Maine trying to get something going here in the bottom of the 5th, as they've been scoreless since the bottom of the 1st. Looks like there was some action in the bullpen for Maine. Economy will take a little lead there at first. Curveball low and outside. Be a full count now to Pomeroy. You got to think that Economy's going here. Full count, he does. And it won't matter because that'll be ball 4. So that'll be the second walk of the inning. So now it's first and second, 2 outs. As Gavin Patridge steps in. He's 1 for 2 on the day. He reached on an error and a single. So he's been on both times. Only 4 hits on the day here for Maine. Looking to try to get their 5th right now. And that pitch will be on the outside corner for a strike. Counts 1-1. So there's 2 outs. Man on first and second. They got there by 2 walks. And they're bird dogging the runner on second. As the second baseman and shortstop both playing with the runner. That pitch was low and outside. It'll be ball, 2-1. The pitch. Lined out to left field. The left fielder, Sean Bunton, will come in and toss that in, and they will not be able to advance to home. So now the bases are loaded by a single by Patridge. He's 2 for 3. 2 singles on the day. And Jacob Lorenzo will step in. He's 1 for 2. He singled and struck out. Now Shrewsbury will come out, and the coach will talk a little defensive conference. As the bases are loaded here, Shrewsbury leads 9-1. The coach is probably just letting them know, you got 2 outs here. Take a deep breath. Get this last out. No damage done. They're leading 9-1. But you never know. This game could crack open here with 3 guys on and cut this lead almost in half for Maine. As the DH Jacob Lorenzo steps in, number 21. He's 1 for 2. That pitch will be right over the plate for strike 1. 0-1 now to Lorenzo. Troyo trying to get out of this one, and he gets ahead 0-2 now. Great pitch on the outside corner. And they'll try to pitch him away. That'll be hit up the middle, the shortstop, and he'll tag the bag. And that's Ryan Conant. Great little diving play, and then he reaches over and grabs the ball with his bare hand and touches second base and gets them out of that bases loaded jam with 2 outs. As Shrewsbury able to get out of that one. Maine was knocking at the doors. So, 1 hit, no errors, no runs scored in that inning, and Shrewsbury still leads 9-1. We'll be back after these important messages.
Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. Sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
America.
And we're back as the host team, Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, will come in the top of the 6th. I mentioned yesterday it's a little weird that Shrewsbury's the away team because they are the host team, but it was a flip of the coin which decided who was the home team and who was the away team. Shrewsbury with 11 hits today, 9 runs scored, only 1 error. The Maine River Dogs have 1 run, 5 hits, and 1 error, and that's ripped down the left field line. Good thing no one was there as the screen was not protecting them, the net, as it goes all the way to the dugouts. That'll be strike 1 now to John West, the DH. Or no, it's Mike Bonolo, sorry. West was retired there in the top of the 5th. So it's the top of the 6th now, and Bonolo will step in, number 2. He's the right fielder. And Spiegel still in here, as he came on yesterday in the 2nd inning. And he's beamed with a 2-2 count. It's a hit by pitch by Spiegel. So the first guy on now for Shrewsbury. Mike Bonolo will be on first. No outs. 9-1 ball game. I'm going to add a run there to Shrewsbury on our viewing screen. Sorry about that. Big lead there by Bonolo. And that's ripped past the third baseman. That'll be a single for Chris Wright as he just gets up there in the first pitch he rips.
Now batting the catcher number 23, Christian Feliciano.
So Shrewsbury again getting their first 2 guys on in the top of the 6th. So a walk, or a hit by pitch, check that, and a single puts 2 guys on in the top of the 6th for the Shrewsbury, Massachusetts team. As Spiegel's in the set, he looks in the pitch. Big cut there by Christian Siciliano, the catcher, as he digs in. He wiggles that bat, looking at Spiegel for the pitch, and curveball low and outside, 1-1. So there's no outs here in the top of the 6th. That ball's hit the shallow right field. That'll be Jackson Thayer coming in on it, and that'll drop in. He tries to throw out the runner at second, and he calls him safe. Wow, and Spiegel upset about that one. Now the coach is going to come out. And they're going to argue it. Even the coach from Maine will walk out here. And that was a shallow ball to right field. Jackson Thayer came on it. It dropped in, but if he had caught it, the runner from first would have had to go back to the bag, so he was about halfway. Thayer's throw was a little off, and umpire saying that they were off the bag. The shortstop was off the bag there at second. So Wright will slide into second safe. Bonolo will advance to third on the hit. And Christian Siciliano will be on first. Mike Tonoli will step in now, number 16, the third baseman, with the bases loaded and no outs, and that ball's hit down the left field line. Check that, and Tonoli looks hurt. Looks like it's his wrist or a shoulder. This does not look good for Tonoli, and you never want to see a guy go down here, and they're going to call over some trainers or somebody to check him out here, as the first pitch to Tonoli is fouled down the left field line, and they're going to check out his shoulder here. Looks like his left shoulder, as the game pauses here. So we have a 9-1 lead by Shrewsbury, Massachusetts against Maine. The Maine River Dogs from Hampden. And the bases are loaded now on the top of the 6th, as Shrewsbury knocking at the door again. We'll be back. We're going to take a little break as they check out this baseball player, Mike Tonoli.
Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom. Please support the American Legion's efforts to serve the growing number of women veterans. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help. America, meet Greg Anderson, served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help. Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom. Please support the American Legion's efforts to serve the growing number of women veterans. Go to legion.org/on.
So we're back, and Tonoli will have to step out of this game as he's injured, as he looks like he pulls something in his left shoulder. And the pinch hitter, A.J. Hamm, will step in, number 4. It's a 1-1 count with the bases loaded for Shrewsbury, and that curveball's low and outside. It's 2-1 now, as the Maine River Dogs will come up on the grass because they do not want to allow another run in, as the man on second, that's fouled off into the foot of the batter, A.J. Hamm. And as I was saying, it's a 9-1 ball game here in the top of the 6th, and if you're Maine, you do not want to let the guy on second base, who is Chris Wright, score, because if they do, if they score no runs in the bottom of the 6th, this ball game will be over. That ball's ripped down the left field line, foul. Counts 2-2. So it's no outs, bases loaded. Maine up on the grass, and A.J. Hamm, the pinch hitter, who just came in for the injured Mike Tonoli, will look to get a hit here. And that's blooped up into right shallow center field. It might drop. It does. And now they will get the force at second, as runners had to hold, because if they had caught it, they would have had to go back. But that's a base hit single there for the pinch hitter, A.J. Hamm.
Now batting for shortstop number 10, Conant.
So Chris Wright, or Mike Bonolo, will score from third. Chris Wright will move to third. Siciliano will be out at second, and A.J. Hamm is on first. So first and third now, 1 out for Shrewsbury. And Ryan Conant rips it out in the left field, and he gets an RBI single. So now Shrewsbury up 11-1.
Now batting the left fielder number 11.
That's a big hit there, because like I said, now the game is 11-1, and if Maine does not score in the bottom of the 6th, this ball game will be over with a 10-run mercy rule. So now the leadoff batter, Sean Bunton, will come up. He's 3 for 4 on the day with 3 singles and then a slow ground ball to, well, not a slow ground ball. That was a tough play, actually. It was from the second baseman while the pitcher covered first. So 3 for 4 on the day. Bunton trying to continue this great hitting game that he's had. Pitch inside. 2-1 now. 3-0. Check that. That was a ball. There you go. 3-1. The pitch. Foul down the left field line, barely. Almost looked like it was going to bloop in there, as Derek Gendro runs after it. There's a full count here to Bunton. Man on first and second, 1 out for Shrewsbury, as they just add 2 more in the top of the 6th. 14 hits here for the Shrewsbury team. And that'll be high and inside. Ball 4. So Bunton gets on with a walk in the top of the 6th. Now the bases are loaded again with 1 out for Shrewsbury. The corners will move up at Maine, as they'll probably go home if it's hit back to them, but middle infielder's playing that double play ball. That's foul, tipped. And it'll go back to the backstop. So 11-1 here. Shrewsbury leads after a 12-hour rain delay from yesterday. Spiegel. His pitch fouled off over the press box here at Hanover Insurance Park. The American flag waving out in right field. So a little wind going out to right field. And that ball's ripped curveball inside down the left field line. Foul. So it'll be 0-2 here to TJ Morguera, the center fielder. Ball high and upstairs. 1-2. So it's a 1-2 count. 1 out. Bases loaded. TJ Morguera up. That curveball's in the dirt. Great block there by Kobe Moore, not allowing another run. So it's 2-2. Spiegel from the windup. That's fouled off there by Morguera as he check swings. Spiegel's pitch. High and inside. That'll be ball 3. Counts full count. It's full now. 1 out. Nowhere to put him. As Shrewsbury adds 2 runs in the top of the 6th. And that's ball 4. They're going to walk in a run here.
Now batting the first baseman, number 44.
And main coach. It's either Rob Dominic or McLean Coolin. Or maybe the manager, Zach Sugar. Comes out, and that'll be it for Spiegel. So we'll let you know who the new pitcher is after these important messages from the American Legion. We're here at Hanover Field, Hanover Insurance Park at Fitton Field, and we'll be back.
Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom. Please support the American Legion's efforts to serve the growing number of women veterans. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help. America, meet Greg Anderson, served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help. Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom. Please support the American Legion's efforts to serve the growing number of women veterans. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help. America, meet Greg Anderson, served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help. Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom.
And we're back, and the new pitching change will be Michael Bulio and Livingston. Sorry, as I was looking down, he rips that ball out to the outfield, and that'll be a sac fly as he gets another run in. Shrewsbury adds on. So now the lead 13-1 as we just had a walk that walked in a run, a sac fly. Now 13-1. John West will step in to DH, the 4-batter. That curveball outside. As I was trying to explain, the book is closed on Spiegel. He gave up 8 hits. Wow, and that's just ripped out in the left field for a single. Another run scores. So John West just, Shrewsbury just really piling it on here as Michael Boulay gives up a sac fly and a hit as all those base runners were Spiegel's responsibility. So the book's still not closed on Spiegel. The Shrewsbury team with 15 hits, they lead 14. (14-1). So now West at first. First and third here. And that curveball will be outside. It counts 1-1. Sorry, after that pitching change, we got a little discombobulated, but Mike Bonolo, the lefty, he'll step in now. He's the right fielder. That pitch fouled off, 1-2. It's tough doing this all on your own. Usually I'm helping out Stephen Riley or Don Boyle, as I'm all by myself doing the color and the play-by-play and the computer as the technical work. But it's 14-1 here as Shrewsbury, Massachusetts adds 5 runs in the top of the 6th and still knocking at the door with 2 outs. It's 2-2 to Mike Bonolo, first and third. Curveball driven out to right field. It'll be out of play as the right fielder Jackson Thayer makes a great effort. You could watch our stream on Sporting News CT, it's the YouTube channel. We're here at Hanover Insurance Park at Fitton Field, the home of the College of Holy Cross. Nobody yet has hit that Percy's big screen blast down left center hit me for a TV. I'd love to see that today. The pitch to Bonolo, ripped down the first base line. The first baseman bobbles it. There'll be no play there as another run scores. And it'll be 15-1 now, as that's an error by the first baseman, Nick Lorenzo, as this Maine team really just discouraged now, as they were trying to keep a 9-1 deficit within reach of being able to play an extra inning. But now they'll be down to their last 3 outs if they cannot score here. And that ball's hit up to shortstop. That was Chris Wright, and then that'll be retired. So finally, Maine able to retire the last batter to get the 3rd out, as they give up 6 runs in the top of the 6th. So now Massachusetts leads 15-1 over Maine as we head into the bottom of the 6th, and Maine will need to score at least 5 runs here in the bottom of the 6th to keep this game into the 7th inning. And we'll be back after these important messages.
Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before. And when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
America, meet Greg Anderson. Served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help. America.
Well, we're back here at Hanover Insurance Park, the home of College of Holy Cross. Beautiful stadium here as our day gets underway for the first game that was rain delayed from yesterday. Shrewsbury, Massachusetts scores 6 runs in the top of the 6th, and they lead now 15-1. We do have a pitching change, and Ryan Sanday will come in to pitch. He's number 26. Chris Wright will move from second base to third base, and Hamm will go to second base as he pinched hit for Tonoli. And that first pitch is a ball. Number 10, Jackson Thayer, will come up for Maine. He fouls that one over the backstop, and it'll be 1-1. Thayer 0 for 2. 7, 8, 9 batters will come up for Maine in the bottom of the 6th as they have their last 3 outs here. If they do not score, that'll be a strike. You know, you really feel for this Maine team. They come out and score 1 run in the first inning. Looks like they're going to lead the game, and Shrewsbury, just after that moment, they checked their baggage into their host field team, and they are just looking unstoppable. It's 1-2 now with Thayer. He rips that to left field, and that one will drop in. So Maine not giving up without a fight. Single by Thayer. So number 15, Kobe Moore, who came in earlier for the catcher Adam Rush, he'll step up. He walked earlier. That one's fouled off, 0-1. So the clouds start to roll in here. Get a little shade. And that one's ripped down the left field line. That'll be foul. So now Kobe Moore falls behind 0-2 as Sanday trying to get the first out here in the bottom of the 6th as he gives off a leadoff hit to Jackson Thayer. Wind blows my papers all over the press box. That ball's hit out to right field, or right center. That's going to get over the center fielder's head. It looks like Maine will try to score a run here as he goes home, and they'll just cut that one off, and that's a great double there by Kobe Moore. RBI double as Thayer scores all the way from first. The 9 batter Nate Allane will step in now. as the River Dogs get their second run of the game. That ball's hit at the first baseman. Livingston will take it himself as he steps on first base and looks over at third as Moore advances from second to third on that ground ball to the right side. So now there'll be one out. Sanday will face the leadoff batter, Sam Economy. He walked twice and flew out to left, so he's 0 for 1 on the day. That pitch fouled off. Sanday getting ahead early, 0-1 now. So it's 15-2 now, as Maine gets another run in the bottom of the 6th. That pitch high, ball, 1-1. That'll even the count. Sanday from the stretch, he kicks. Fouled off down the right field line. It'll be out of play. It'll hit the concession stand. Yesterday, we tried the diverse menu here with the concessions. Chicken tenders, hot dogs, hamburgers. That one's flown out. That'll be the center fielder. He comes on and makes the play. That's TJ Morguera. He tosses it in as Moore not able to tag up from third. It was too shallow. So now Maine down to their last out. Derek Gendro will step in. He's 1 for 3 with a single all the way in that first inning, which was yesterday. Since then, he flew out to center, which looks like he'll do right now, and that'll be right underneath TJ Morguera, and he sits and catches that one for the third out in the bottom of the 6th, and this one's over now at Hanover Insurance Park, Shrewsbury, Massachusetts. Unbelievable hitting performance by the host team, and you know, that game was rain delayed, so it was postponed a little bit, but Shrewsbury getting the W. They have 15 hits. They made 2 errors, or 1 error. 15 runs scored, so the most runs so far scored in the tournament by the host team, Shrewsbury, Massachusetts. And just a great performance today overall by Shrewsbury. You know, the starting pitcher was Carson Hauben. He pitched yesterday. Then McSweeney came in. Then Trorio, and then Sanday. So 4 pitchers used by Shrewsbury, all only giving up 2 runs on 7 hits, 1 error. And on the other side, Harriman, he'll get the loss, as there were 6 runs given up in the second inning before the rain delay. And the pitching staff here from Maine was Harriman, then Spiegel, and then Boulay, which gave up altogether 15 hits, 15 runs on 2 errors. Well, if we want to recap this game, it all really started in the second inning as Shrewsbury just got it done. They started off with John West. He started that thing off with a single. Then another single by Bonolo. Then a sac bunt by Chris Wright. He advanced on an error yesterday. Then Siciliano got a single. Then Tonoli had a single. Then a sac fly, RBI by Ryan Conant. Then a single by Bunton. Single by Morguera. Then Livingston had a huge sac fly, which scored 2 runs. That was a play that you don't see every day, because they actually tagged up from second base. So it was a 2 RBI sac fly. And after that, Shrewsbury just cruised along. And, you know, you got to give hats out to Livingston, the first baseman, number 44 for Shrewsbury. He was just unbelievable. And I'm going to look for how many RBIs. He had 5 RBIs on the day. 2 sack. Yeah. 2, 4. Actually, he had 6 RBIs on the day, 2 sac flies, a triple, which had an RBI, a single with 2 RBIs, and 1 strikeout early in that first inning. So after that first inning, he just cruised. So he was 2 for 5 with 6 RBIs. Other guys that had big day were Sean Bunton. He was 3 for 4 with a walk, 1 run scored. And this Shrewsbury team really showing what they can do. Maine scored their first run with a walk, a single, broken up by a double play, but then a single and an error scores the run for Sam Economy. He got in the first inning. And in that last inning, a base hit by Jackson Thayer and then a double RBI by Moore, who came in for Adam Rush, made that game 15-2. And we'll be back as Stanford will take on Nashua, the New Hampshire champs. And this will be an interesting day here at Hanover Insurance Park. So we'll be back as Shrewsbury, Massachusetts defeats the River Dogs 15-2.